Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, First speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And today we are going to build a tiny house. Of course, in recent history we have been graced with the amazing announcement of the Tiny Living stuff pack, and for this I wanted to prepare myself and build something tiny as well. And here we go with a tiny modern Tiki Polynesian / South American jungle vibe house, and I called it a tiny Tiki. And yeah, it has lots and lots of space for it being very tiny. And I also want to share some of my experience I gained building tiny while doing this build. So without further ado, let's get started. So we start on the 20 by 15 lot. There are several lots that have this bigness, that size. There we go. Yes, I have to learn some English again. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is definitely a tiny house, and also this is for the tiny house contest or tiny living contest that is currently also like done by lots and lots of simmers and builders and YouTubers. And I'm not trying to win this contest. I just thought it's like a good idea to participate or at least build something within the parameters of the contest. If you want to look up the rules that are for that contest, I will put the link in the description down below. I think it you can enter until now, like now that I'm uploading this. I'm sorry for those who still want to enter, but I thought this is like a cool preparation for the upcoming stuff pack, and I thought, hey, why not, try this so I can get into the tiny house groove. I've been building lots of micro homes that were just like 36 tiles. I think that was my limit. This is definitely bigger, and the first thing that you can already see is building diagonally, because of course the diagonal of like our tiles is bigger. So I gained some space by just building diagonally. Keep in mind that building diagonally is also a little bit more challenging because we don't have diagonal stairs, for example. Some windows will not stretch for the whole diagonal, but will be stretched over like the one tile thing. So some things look different just in general, and you have to, kinda figure out what kind of build objects stretch over the whole diagonal and which ones don't, because they kinda sometimes act differently than building on a normal tile. That's the only thing that I can say about this, and it's just basically I can just tell you yeah, just try it out. It's basically just trial and error in my opinion, and you will get some experience to just building diagonally over time. Just in general, every time building The Sims is like experience stuff. If you really want to, build something, it's just experience. If you want to build something good, it's basically watching videos, trying to recreate stuff yourself. There are lots of tutorials on the internet. There's not much that I can say about building in The Sims 4, except like you can try to download this and rebuild, or I don't know, like figure it out yourself. It's just, for me, I've been building The Sims since 2000, since The Sims 1, and sometimes, some of the problems are like, I only build boxes, and I'm like, okay, then maybe try an L-shaped house, which is just basically 2 boxes, and then you add and you add and you add. So sometimes like doing tutorials is like, for me, I have no idea what to talk about. So I honestly sometimes just think it's just figuring stuff out. I think it's like a typical kind of person or character type, personality type that likes to build in The Sims. Basically, it's, I think, people who are a little bit prone to creativeness, but also to maybe like patience. It's a lot of patience stuff. I think people that generally like to build or play simulation games that have kind of like a building aspect, like also, I don't know, SimCity, for example, or the Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo type of things, or maybe simulation strategy games. some people who like these kinds of games will also like the build mode in The Sims because it's more of a patient thing, and you get rewarded by doing stuff on your own pace and like grind. It's a little bit also grinding, so to speak. So yeah, I think like maybe sometimes people tend to build like super quickly and they want to have like a result that is just not possible in The Sims if you don't, you know, take your time. So yeah, I think that's like the first thing that I did here as well. Like you can see me struggling with the diagonals, and I want to have these bigger windows that are basically just glass roofs, because we don't have these huge big windows in The Sims that I really like. And so I made them myself with the roofs, and this is just, you know, trial and error, like putting this on, looking at all sides if I like it. And yeah, it's just basically lots of trial and error, I guess, like looking if I like how it looks like. And of course I hope that you like how it looks like as well. So yeah, this is something that I wanted to do as like a theme. So I came up with the idea of having like these diagonal glass window roofs as well, because I thought that, first of all, diagonal gives us lots of space, and second of all, these roofs also give you the possibility to put like a sofa in the corner, or just I imagined like having like a bed to one, like next to one of the bigger windows, so you can wake up and have like a really cool view. I got the whole idea of this by a concept that I found by an architecture company or enterprise that has like concepts for affordable tent living, kind of tent hut things that you can very quickly assemble. And there was this thing that was like an A-frame hut but modern, and it was actually for like expeditions, or if you need like shelter in the, you know, just somewhere really quickly. It's basically like a very luxurious tent, so to speak, but made out of wood and like plastic and some kind of, you know, quickly assembled pieces, so to speak. And I thought that's like a really smart thing to do, because you can actually keep them, because it's wood, it reacts to the exterior weather temperatures. And it expands, and it, you know, like it's a little bit more sturdy, I guess, than a concrete house if you have extreme temperatures. So the original idea was for them to be in the jungle, if you have like jungle expeditions and you don't want to have like a tent kind of thing, but something a little bit more sturdy, because your whole expedition, I don't know, like center or something. I'm not sure. I'm not like I'm not a scientist who does things like this, but I thought the idea and the concept of it was really cool looking. And I think there's not like a real one, like no one has ever built this in like real, so I can't say, but like the whole concept and how they described it made like so much sense to me. And I wanted to put this here as a test as well in The Sims, and I thought it's really, really cool, especially the A-frame. And then I wanted it to be kind of like a luxurious hotel kind of thing. So for those who don't know, but I think as a builder, the Solani pack, so that's Island Living, and the Jungle Adventure gameplay pack, the build objects are kind of very, you know, you get this tropical kind of vibe. Of course, the Island Living is more Polynesian inspired, and the Jungle Adventure is more South American inspired. But I think if you put both of them together, you have this general, you know, tropical, not European and not American and not, you know, Russian, whatever, kind of feel of vacationing, if you know what I mean. For me, it's like a vacation theme. And I want to put these two packs, I wanted to use them a lot and kind of mix again, because I think they go really well together. So we have this modern / Polynesian tiki kind of / South American vibe going on here. And I also like these packs because the wooden texture, or the wooden colors that come with these packs, are almost the same, so they match a little bit more. Although I'm one of these builders, or one of these simmers, who likes having mixed wooden colors, because that's more realistic to me. Because even like the same wood type, if you would say like teak, for example, trees can have like different wooden color as well, even if it's like the same wooden, you know, tree type, but you know, one tree is maybe a little tiny little bit lighter in their wood color than the next one. So in my opinion, that's a little bit more realistic to have actually like, and also aging the wood. Definitely it takes like, makes it lighter, and some get darker, for example. So newer teak tables look different than older teak table, for example, in my experience just. And yeah, I like that actually, is that you have different wooden textures, because first of all, it's not as boring, and second, I like it. You know, it's more realistic, it has more character as well, and it's cozy. So I chose like the whole wooden texture here as well. And I thought it looks really cool, and of course like fit the whole theme. And then I planned to have, like I said, like the bed and the huge sofa corner under the big glass roofs, and you know, have like a really nicely view out to the jungle, or you know, just in general. I of course go for the jungle vibe, so we will have lots and lots of jungle plants outside as well. And yeah, I really liked experimenting with this whole stuff. Just in general, for those who like to build very modern, maybe use Spa Day, or I think City Living also came with lots of cool modern kind of types of furniture as well. I think like throughout the years since Sims 4 came out, the packs got a little bit more diverse in builders kind of perspective. So you have usually always like modern build objects and like the theming, you know, like for example the island living one came with also very modern kind of stuff that doesn't look super tiki, and I like that I did this with all of the packs so far. So I'm actually excited to see if they have built stuff for the tiny living as well. I mean, I didn't see some new doors or something, but it could be interesting to see. I'm excited to see just in general if they have like bigger windows or like smaller windows or whatever, just to fit the tiny theme, because that would be interesting. I mean, it's easier to have like a small sofa and like a small table finally, or something like that. But just the build objects could be interesting as well, because especially if you want to do like a smart solution and architectural concept, you basically need smaller windows, in my opinion, that kind of have another tile size, maybe half a tile size or something. Could be interesting to experiment with that. And yeah, basically my A-frame tiki house here is it's functional. I've play tested it. So there is a bathroom with a toilet and a shower. They have to use the sink in the kitchen because we have some space problems, and I'm going to use that trick because for gameplay it just makes more sense. And you have some tile restrictions by the Sims game itself, so why not use the sink in the kitchen? Just makes more sense. And I honestly think this is a good trick, like the whole A-frame thing. Do this so you get like more out of your smaller tiles, like the ground tiles, because every tile under the roof doesn't count actually, you know what I mean? So that's interesting, and I'm looking forward to experiment with that in Tiny Living. I have been asking one of the devs, SimGuru Ninja to be exact, about how the tile counting works. I'm not sure if I can disclaim this here in the video, because we have, of course, like some sort of press release embargo, so I'm not allowed to talk about it. So I'm pretty sure I cannot talk about it in this video, but let's just assure you that they have like a trick up their sleeve how they count what is a tiny house with this pack and what is not. And I will definitely, once I have get my hands on this pack, on the stuff pack, I will try to break the rules and see if you can trick the game, you know, what a tiny house is. Of course, I will try to build like a huge mansion, but trick the game to think that it's actually like a tiny house, so you get like the treats and benefits or whatever comes with that. Yeah, that would be interesting, of course. Let's break the game again because it's build mode. But yeah, this is something that I'm really looking forward to, because he explained it a little bit to me how this is working in the game. And I think I've already found like I've got like 2 things that I want to try and see if it's working. Also, in this video, I play tested the whole house later, and we will flip the bathroom door so the sim can get to the bathroom, and we will flip a little bit in the kitchen, like where the stove is and where the fridge is, just so it works. So that will look a little bit different, but hey, at the end there's always a video tour, so that is like the final version, how it looks like and how it is in the gallery. So you can check that out, and that's how the house looks like in the end, just to make sure if you missed anything. And yeah, I really like these wedding arches as like a tiki end frame for the A-frame. And then of course I started stacking lots of the jungle plants in there from the Jungle Adventure pack, because I really like the whole foliage that came with Jungle Adventure. I like it more than actually the foliage that we got with Island Living. The only thing from Island Living foliage that I really like is the palm trees, because they don't look like a comic palm tree. Like, they look a little bit more realistic. I like them because they're a little bit more detailed than the other palm trees that we have in the game. They honestly are the best palm trees. So if you are into palm trees, get the Island Living pack, I guess. But yeah, just in general, I think you know, like Jungle Adventure and Island Living go really well together. And if you want to build tiny, build diagonal, and build A-frame, that's my go-to first of all. This is what I will try to implement into my tiny living houses for a while. I hope this is working. And yeah, maybe you experiment with that as well as a preparation for the tiny living stuff pack. I can't say anything about the stuff pack yet because I haven't played it. I just talked with Single Ninja about a little bit how the, you know, like the algorithms work, what a tiny house is in the game. And here we are already in the video tour of the tiny tiki house, and it looks so cool. I placed it, of course, in Selva Dorada, the Jungle Adventure world, because this is where I wanted it to be. It's my Jungle Adventure tiny living bungalow hotel, whatever. And I thought it looks really cool there. It's like supposed to be there. There's a 20 by 15 lot as well, so I placed it there. And of course, this is up for download, so if you want to download this and put it to your game for free, just do so. I will put the link to the gallery in the video description down below, and you can get it there and play with it and do whatever, renovate it, I don't care. I usually build to just share it with you guys. So there are at least some people who play with the house because I certainly just build and then, you know, put it up to the gallery and hope that you're gonna like it and play with it. Here we are in the interior, and I like the whole thing because I chose like the biggest wall height. And it looks so lofty. It looks like a huge loft, but it's actually a really tiny house. And just because it's diagonal, we have way more, you know, size inside. So I like that. Like, I like the whole idea. So build diagonally, use the biggest wall height so you can cram stuff up on the walls. And A-frame, I think, hopefully will work with the tiny living pack as well for the counter, you know, for the tile counter, how big it is. But yeah, it definitely gives you like a huge advantage, I think, in size, even though it's kind of like a small house, so to speak. But yeah, this is basically my build, guys. I really hope that you like it. Please subscribe to my channel if you like Sims 4 builds. Of course, write me in the comments down below what you want to see, maybe for the stuff pack. Somebody wrote me that they want to see also like besides build videos, just discussions about the game. Is this really something you guys want to see? Then write it in the comments down below, and I will try my best to have like an opinion kind of, you know, format, I guess, for this new year. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you like it. Feel free to download that through the link that I put in the video description down below, and check out the contest rules if you want to see that and prepare yourself for the upcoming stuff pack. And I guess the next one we will talk about the new stuff pack, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.